connected now. I
Got
gotta go ahead and record.
Great.
You're the best.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready?
As I told Diana, because we went to Savannah, I didn't transcribe the video of our last board meeting. And then since I had the stroke the day after we got home, I have not been able to type. So needless to say, I don't have a transcription of the last board meeting.
Well, thank you. We'll forgive you for that, Dick. Not sure many
Thank you.
clubs do get a transcription of their board meetings. We appreciate it, but we understand. So I think at 6 o'clock, I'm going to call the meeting to order. And we'll go straight. We have two or three things to do, like that are important to take care of tonight, and then we'll go on to discuss our next board meeting when we will meet. The first one, Dick, you want to talk about the raffle? We had two items that we want to talk about before we go to that.
You may remember, some of you, before the pandemic, we did several years where we sold OSU raffle tickets.
Yeah,
It was with the Columbus Kiwanis Club, and we sold them for $5 and we kept $3 of each sale. We usually sold at least 100, which meant that we got about $300. They are doing that again the last couple of years with the pandemic and everything and not meeting on a regular basis. I never responded, never brought it up to us. Do we want to do this again? It's a no-brainer.
I don't see any reason why not.
I'm for it.
Especially since we brought in $300 the 2 years we did it.
Sure.
I'll make a motion that we participate in the OSU raffle.
And I'll second it because I know Paul down at the Columbus Club and I will pick them up from him. Because I have to let him know before the end of March. So
How much are they, Dick?
they're $5 a piece, and you get into a raffle for 2 season tickets. It's like in C section or something, probably a nosebleed area. But I know they sold tons the last couple of years.
Yes, there's probably only 20,000 tickets going to be sold. So, but a lot of people would love to have them. So,
And it's almost like it's more of a $3 donation to our club. So
Mhm.
so
Yes.
we have a motion from Dina. Do we have a
need to
second?
vote. I
Yes.
second.
Okay, we're, this is to vote on whether we participate in the raffle. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay, motion carries. So we'll look into that. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about, because this is something we can't postpone really. We've been asked to do a table at the Vintage Festival for the Arts Park. And we didn't want to look into it too much because it's May 13th, which is the weekend before the Arts Festival, and we have to have quite a few helpers, quite a few members involved in that. However, I did find out from Roxanne that 1, we're not charged for the space. That's $100 savings. 2, she will put us beside the building so we can plug in a coffee pot. And 3, we have most of the supplies we need, napkins, cups, that kind of stuff. The only thing we would have to do is get coffee, and we would have to go through Krispy Kreme to get the donuts, okay? Krispy Kreme has kind of a sophisticated fundraising program that is very generous. I'm working on trying to get the information from them now, but I have a friend who goes through them for their 4-H. And she's told me that they're very generous. You buy so many dozen, they give you so many dozen. So my idea is to go out there at the crack of dawn on May 13th, which is going to be like before 6 o'clock. They start setting up at 6 o'clock. have only coffee and donuts. That's it. When the donuts are gone, we're finished. I have had some information from several, I've asked several people if they would be interested in helping. They said they would. So we're not really interfering with the arts festival at all. But it seems to me like if you get your donuts donated practically, and you've got the space donated and everything is donated, we could have our name out there. We could have our Chad stickers, and we could have business cards. So it could be a PR kind of move, PR and a little bit of a fundraiser. So I think we would cover our expenses and then make a profit. So I was wondering if anyone has an objection or would like to make it in the form of a motion that we go for it. I have at least 4 people who are willing to help me. So, and I'll be in charge of it.
I'll donate coffee.
Oh, thank you so much, Keith. There, we've got the coffee.
What time is it?
It is like 6 a.m. on May 13th, because that's when the vendors start coming in to set up.
Okay,
So shortly after that, we'd have to be ready to go so that the vendors could come over and get donuts and coffee. So we may actually be done by 10.
What is the event? Vintage Park?
It's the Vintage Festival at the Arts Park on May 13th.
Yeah, what is the Vintage
It's
Festival?
like antiques and collectible
Antiques.
sales.
Yeah.
Different
it's
booths.
Oh,
just-
okay.
it's one of their festivals. There are other things that are just current kinds of things you can buy there.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of antiques and things that you can, antiques all the way up to the most current craft you can imagine. So I've gone for the last 2 years. So I'm just saying, if we could bring in a few $100s,
Sure.
or $200 or $300,
Yeah.
it would
I'll
be
make
worth it. Take the time to go there, plus the publicity we would get.
I'll make a motion that we participate.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Okay, we
Yeah,
have
me
a
too.
motion and a second.
I
Thank you,
have a-
Keith. Second from Keith. And I will take care of figuring out all the details, and I'll get it back to you. I'm happy to do that.
Diane, I have a question
This is the discussion phase.
about Krispy Kreme donuts. I tried to get donuts for Key Club or Circle K or something one time to sell. And there was something about having we're not a 501c
1C3.
or whatever. So you need to check into that.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will. So we'll figure out something. But anyway, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. I will pursue that, and I'll find out about the 501c3. If I have to, I'll have another organization that has one buy them for me. I'm not proud. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But I will take care of that part. Now we're going to move. We haven't done our secretaries and our treasurers reports yet, but we'll get back to that. The next thing we have to do is talk about when we're going to meet. Because you all received the information from Sue today about when she would be, if you looked at your email, when
did
you would be available to have a meeting. And Dick, you had some ideas of when you thought it might work.
well, I know the
I'm not
Sue,
sure- Honestly,
put
I'm
in
not sure where to
her-
go with it, except that if we go based on her suggestion, if we go to a Thursday evening, I know that eliminates Helen because she has church every Thursday evening.
So I
So,
can't do anything during the day.
and so the days
unless it's
are
on a
out,
weekend.
It would be out for
if it's going to be out for Blake and it's going to be out for Sue Gray.
Blake and Sue. So daytime is not working. What about the only day she gave us a maybe was Thursday, some Thursdays. She said some Thursdays. So what are your thoughts, folks? I don't know where to go with this.
Can I just be blunt? I feel like we do a lot of trying to accommodate her schedule, and she is super, super busy. If this works for the majority of us,
Yeah.
I mean, can't we leave it the way it is? If this works for the majority of us? Because
could
she's
do
only
that,
available
yes.
some Thursday.
Right,
So,
right. And
But-
we don't,
Some Thursdays, and Helen's not available at all on Thursdays.
Right,
Oh.
but didn't we move it from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock so she could come?
yes,
And,
but
but now she's added something else at the
Yeah.
6 o'clock hour.
right.
correct.
And that goes
Okay.
along with the chorus, community chorus.
Mhm.
Right. And we,
So
and
it was her
we,
decision to get involved with that 6 to 7 o'clock project. So, and I concur with Dina. We have worked really hard to work out a time and a day for as many people as possible to attend.
and we typically have maybe 8. I would say we average about 8 people.
I think we average most of the board members except Sue,
Yeah,
Well, Sue, yeah.
and then Sue Gray
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Let's
I
leave it where it's at.
Just leave it where it is.
Yeah.
Is that the decision of the board that we're sorry, but we really feel that this is the best we can do?
Well, and in light of the fact
the
that
majority
we
of
are
people.
recording it, and I load it on YouTube that night. You know, if she wants to review it and give input, she's welcome to give input. But after she's looked at it, if there's something that she felt strongly about.
And that we'll make that an offer. We'll offer
Yeah.
that to her, and then let her take it from there. Is that agreeable to everybody?
Sounds
Yes.
good.
yeah,
I don't think, do we need a motion for that?
No,
Or is this just
I
a
don't think
discussion
so.
because we're really not changing anything?
correct.
I think we'll reach out to her and say, this was the best for everyone, and thank you so much for your service. So, and we're facing, well,
wait a
by
second.
May- I'm
When
sorry,
you say, when you say thank you so much for your service, are we excusing her from the board then, or what are we doing?
no, we'll let her, no, I
Okay.
put that as being, we appreciated when you were able to be with us and contribute.
Yeah,
And so we'll leave it to her then to decide what she wants to do, I guess.
Okay.
at the
all
end,
right.
at the end of the email, it mentioned something about maybe she should resign or,
Right. And that's where I thought you were going when you
understand.
said thank you for your service.
Right. And, I just want to say, we appreciated her very much, but we understand, and
but
we need to.
yeah, we
need
can
to-
let her know that she can review the tape and give input after the
Just
fact.
stay on.
Yeah,
when,
Yeah.
when is
How
her
do we do
term?
that? We'll just make it as though we'll offer you this opportunity to just review the tape, and then give us input
I
from
think
that.
she has one more year, Helen.
She has
Oh,
one more
more
year.
year.
I
Okay.
think one more year.
It would be better if she would stay on and just do it that way.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think we are in agreement. We're going to stay with our night that we have been having, so it works out pretty well. Okay, now let's go. Do you want to do anything as far as the secretary's report, Dick? I'm jumping backward.
no, I mean, I hope, I know by looking, I have seen that some people have looked at the video, but it never identifies who. So I think people.
I did.
Yeah, and I remember Dina saying that she looked at it. But it's obviously there. When I send out the link, I'll just remind people that it is there if you want to review anything. If you could not attend the meeting, please take time to look this over to see what was discussed. And if you want to give any input, I'll just remind them that they're welcome to do that.
That'd be great. Okay, sounds like a plan. Alrighty, should we move to treasurer's report, Dina?
Sure. So Diana asked me just to give you our available balances can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right, because
Break it up a
my
little bit.
screen is doing something wacky.
yeah.
It is.
I think it's Diana.
Okay.
Ding?
So in admin, we have currently $5,875.75. And in the service, $3,407.29.
Okay, can you repeat those again? I'm sorry, I
Sure.
missed.
Admin is $5,875.75.
Okay,
And service, $3,407.29.
Okay,
thank you.
The only
Thank you.
expenditures we had in February were guest meals and in memoriams.
okay,
Those were
cool.
the only expenses we had in February.
Okay. Well, so thank you for that. I just, we're actually working on a new, way to record our budget. So we'll get back to you about that within probably by next meeting, we'll have a new one that is easier to follow. So, and easier for Dina and, that makes sense. So we're going to work on that. So, thank you, Dina, for those. Any questions or concerns?
Just a quick one. Where's all the money coming from? Where's the 8,000 coming from?
I'm sorry, I can't hear that.
He said,
Where-
where's the 8,000 coming from? I mean,
We just haven't
there
spent.
was, we just haven't spent as much as
Yeah.
people, I mean, we haven't spent as much as we thought we had.
So what's in the budget to spend coming up? Anything?
Well, we'll have
Oh.
expenses for Arts Festival.
Sure, but we'll have
Well-
income for that as well, right? So
Well,
we
for
should
having
come
it,
out plus.
It has not cleared the bank yet. I forgot, I did write a check for those comfort bags, but it's not cleared the bank yet.
Oh,
So
and
have they
that
been
goes to-
delivered?
And that goes to the foundation, and I think Dave Kuhn is bringing those down to mid-year not this weekend, but the weekend after. And he's
Yeah.
gonna give it to me then.
And how
Yeah,
much
so
is
I-
that?
350, so that'll come
Okay.
out of that service. So we'll still be over $3,000 on the service side.
Did the Kiwanis International charge for our dues, which were over $2,000?
I sure did.
Okay,
And has that been paid or is that waiting to be paid?
Yes, that was paid in 2022.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Did all the
Or-
members pay? I know we talked about at one time that some people still owed their dues. Is
There
everybody,
are still a few people who owe a little bit, and I'm going to send out reminder invoices to them this month.
okay,
Okay.
I will send them out
looking
before the 15th.
to- Okay, Dina,
There's only 2 or 3, and I think they're actually corporate members. They had made partial payments and they just need to finish them up.
okay, so do we have a policy, bringing this up, do we have a policy that if we're not paying in full, and I don't understand why a corporation would have to pay it in parts, but if we paid in full and we choose not to, shouldn't we have a policy that we pay half at the beginning of the year and half at the middle of the year?
we've had the policy that we could make installments up to 4.
Isn't that making it more difficult for the treasurer?
Well, that we can decide not to do that next year at this point.
I would
Me.
agree.
Speaking
I'm
as
sorry,
as
Kate,
the
what?
treasurer and I'm sorry, speaking as the treasurer and as someone who's taken advantage of the partial payment system, I think it would be okay, and I could keep track of it pretty well if it was like first payment is due on this date and the second
Yeah.
payment is due a month later. So if we could do half and half, that wouldn't be too bad, but the up to 4 sometimes gets a little harried.
Sticky.
Agree.
Yeah,
Does
We
that
need
make
to
sense
make
to
a-
everybody?
we
Do we
can,
need to make a motion to change that policy that dues will be paid in 2 installments?
For 120 something.
I
either
don't know if
that
we,
or can we do it like in August? Because that's about the time we start sending out reminders.
all right,
Uh,
I'll put a little tickler in.
Okay,
Dick,
yeah,
Sharon?
I want to put a little quirk in the deal. At the International Convention, there's coming up with a dues increase on the agenda, so the dues may be increasing, and that
Okay.
might cause some problems for some people.
But that probably, because it would be voted on in June, probably wouldn't take effect till the next year. It would
No.
be October 1st, 2024.
But regardless of how much the dues are, it would be much easier for Dina if we did it in so much at the beginning of the year before October 1st, and then so much a certain period of time later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that,
Yep.
But let's just set the dates like in August.
Yeah.
Okay.
so we're doing the first collection in August, the second when?
I
No,
think
No,
he
we're gonna
needs
revisit in
to
August.
revisit this
No, we'll
at the board
revisit
meeting in
it.
August.
In August. Because that's about when we start sending out the dues reminders early September.
Okay. So we
I'm-
agree that we should move it to like 2 payments, but we've
Yeah.
not decided when they are yet.
Right.
All
Okay,
right, gotcha.
is that okay, Dina? That's what we've discussed?
Yes, and then the only other thing that I have from a previous board meeting was when Roxanne was here to talk about our participation with the instrument benches. And we had thought that we might do something to help with that, but maybe we're gonna reach out to individual members first before we committed a club
Correct.
a club commitment.
Right. And I have to apologize because we went to Savannah and then I came back and decided to have this damn stroke.
Dick, it is so inconvenient for you to get
I
sick.
know,
Get with
I
the
know.
program here, dude.
Believe me, I hear this every day from somebody I live with. So,
Well, here's another possibility. We have the money to pay for the bench. I'm not quite sure how we reach out to our members and ask them if they would like to donate toward the bench. That was Dick's idea. I'm not quite sure how we do that. But I do know with the raffle coming up and also this donut idea I have, we'll have extra money that's not
oh
accounted.
yeah, I know.
It's not earmarked for anything. So I'm not sure, Dick, how would you recommend that we go forward and ask our members to donate to a bench?
I
How
would.
much is,
It's a
sorry,
thousand.
how much is the bench?
It's like
About
$900,
Okay,
$950.
$950.
My thought is just to announce, and I have a picture from Roxanne of a drawing, what it looks like. It's just saying that we're going to be doing this. The only problem is if we do take donations, there won't be any record of that anyway, other than the fact that it's a donation. It's a total donation from our Kiwanis Club. So an individual making a donation is not going to get any recognition. It's just that if somebody wants to make a donation, they could easily do $100 donation or something like that. I could put it out there and if anybody,
Do we agree that that's the direction we want to go?
and what's the
I mean-
recognition Kiwanis gets from this?
we're going to have
So
a plaque on it.
There'll be a plaque on it that said it's donated from our Kiwanis Club.
And where is this bench located?
It'll be
in the arts park.
in the arts park in their new area.
All right,
Dick, are you able to send a picture out? Because I know she said different instruments of what we're looking at. Did she send them all to you or just
No,
one?
she just sent one variation.
Okay.
Dick, do you remember how we raised the money for the bench at Mingo? Or did we just take that out of?
We just took it out of the service, community service.
I
Okay.
mean, is that an option? Would we be willing just to take it out of the little more than $3,000 we have for community service now?
Well, since we can always transfer money from admin over to community service. So you can't go the other way.
That's what I'm saying.
We-
Can we
we've
take it
got-
out of the,
We have more than enough in our accounts. Part of it is we didn't spend anything for a year and a half.
Yeah.
COVID, yeah.
Does someone want to make a motion just to fund it?
I'll make a motion to fund it. I visit
Go
that
over for
park
you,
a lot.
Diana, sorry.
Daughter visits that park a lot with the kids.
It's a beautiful park.
It is a beautiful park.
I'll
Okay, we
second
have
it.
a motion. We have a second.
I'll second it.
Helen will second it. We have a motion and a second to just pay for the bench, and then maybe some of these fundraisers we have coming up will cover it. I mean, I hope they do.
Oh, I'm sure
We
they
won't
will.
know. I'm sorry.
I'm sure they will.
So, and I have some other news for you too that's going to impact this decision. So, is there any
Seconded
discussion?
that.
All those in favor of paying for the bench when it's needed, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, passes.
Diana, who seconded it? I was just trying to make backup notes for Dick.
I'm sorry.
Who seconded that motion?
Helen.
Helen,
did.
Helen did.
Helen.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm taking notes too, Dina. So if we
Great.
miss something, we'll coordinate.
There
Okay,
you go, Dick. You've got plenty of backup.
well, I have somebody advising me how to get an add-on to my computer so I can just tell it what I need it to write.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
It'll
have,
be a book.
Pardon?
Go ahead,
What?
Diana.
What, Dee?
I
think
said
this-
it'll be a book.
I think this decision was a good one. And then with the raffle and the donuts, I think we'll be fine. I think we won't really affect our treasurer all that much. But what I want to tell you too is that after Carlisle was not interested in us doing the author visit, I visited my grandson's school, Buckeye Valley West. And I talked to their principal, vice principal, and their curriculum person. And they're very interested in having, they have to get everybody to approve it, but they're very interested in it. However, they're not interested, they can't do it this spring. First of all, because Alan is all booked except for 3 days in April. And I approached them with the 3 days and they said, that's testing,
Yeah,
not gonna work. So that whole idea of providing books for the 5th graders and having the author visit that he was going to donate is getting pushed off until fall.
mhm.
Okay, so we do not have that expense coming out at all. It's not going to happen because it took us so long to find a school interested. Then he didn't have the dates and they can't do it during testing. So I think we have some good opportunities to have a partnership with Buckeye Valley West if we'd like it. They're very interested in maybe having us come in and read with their children and doing some other fun things out there, but it will not start until fall. So that's off the table. So we are not going to have any expense for books this spring. However, we do have good news about, we're talking about service projects now. We do have good news from the health department. For those of you who were at our last meeting, and we had a presentation and Jackie Bain came and they're very interested in us putting a little library in their new building. However, that won't happen until maybe May or June.
Right.
So that did not get away from us. It's just being postponed because of their new building. And we already agreed that we have bookcases, chairs and tables, books and rugs that we can move in there. And it's not really going to be any out of pocket, I don't think. Yes, Dina.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump back for a second. Do you want me to reach out to Roxanne and let her know we're gonna fund a bench and to send an invoice to me or whatever?
That'd be fine.
Just let her know
And
to
then-
send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I had one other thing, since we're talking about other connected projects. Suzanne Pingree came out to Buckeye Valley High School and spoke with our principal about Sages and Seekers. And he put out a feeler for an interested teacher to do that through a class next year. And guess who signed on?
Okay, Miss Dina.
Bless your heart.
But we're gonna do it with my college level students.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Huh?
Yeah.
We have
So
our
if you're a
last,
sage, if you're a sage, come on out to Buckeye Valley next year.
Judy and I are finishing up tomorrow. It's the tribute day.
Oh,
Mr. Riggs will
great.
be there to watch. So
That's super, Dina. Thank you for sharing that. That's good to know.
And it is so much more fun. Judy,
person.
don't you think, in being in person?
Oh,
Did-
yeah. Yeah, it's a whole different experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I did
And
it, I
Su-
only did it 1 year, but it was on Zoom. And it
Yeah.
didn't go so well for me, so.
Oh. Well, Suzanne and I were talking about, I often have 4 or 5 sections of this college class, and she said she didn't think she'd have that many sages for me. And I said, well, I could maybe do an alternative with the classes that can't participate directly with the sages, where we could do like, Dick probably knows what I'm talking about. They did a Foxfire thing in the Appalachian Mountains several years ago, where kids went out into the mountains and they interviewed people and recorded their stories and created books and things. So whatever classes can't do sages and seekers, I'm going to do a Foxfire kind of thing where they go and they find people that they can interview and record their stories and put together a book.
Well, sort of like a story core.
Yes, exactly. Yep. I'm going to see if Source Point will help me get that going. So,
Okay.
and I'm going to brag on my Key Club, Sharon. My Key Club collected $645 from our community shred day to donate to the Meals on Wheels program on
Wow.
Sunday,
Wonderful.
on Saturday.
Wow. Very
Yeah.
good.
Good job.
Wonderful. Great
Where
job.
They said they were funny. These young kids were like, Miss Hooper, the average age of people who shredded their stuff was like 50. And I was like, yeah, because we old people like me don't keep everything
We
on a
don't keep
computer like you
That's
guys
right.
do.
People like you.
We actually used paper back in the olden days.
That's right. My wife still gets mad at me because I tend to print off things rather than just store them digitally. So,
Yeah, if I don't print them and put them in a paper file, I forget how I named them in the digital
Yeah,
file. So then I can't find them.
Dina, can
Yeah.
I call you later about a Key Club blanket event that's happening?
You can do that. I don't know that I'll have any information, but you just call me if you want to.
Okay.
Okay.
I have 2 things.
Okay.
Judy, I do not have a list of how many volunteers you and Keith needed for Arts Festival last year.
Okay, I can look and see
Okay, I know it was
if I've got it.
great. I was greatly reduced from what we've had in the past. So.
Yeah, because they brought a lot of their help with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And,
oh,
and-
go
and
ahead.
the only other thing is, we've done this before. I got a reminder from Roger Hannafin at the YMCA. They are having their Kids Health Day, April 29th. We've participated the last 5 or 6 years. And that's when we end up giving out bike helmets, which we didn't end up having an opportunity last year. And I already have several people to help me do fitting of bike helmets. Is it okay if I tell them that we're going to take part again? We can give out Chad stickers. I have those activity bags like we did last year with the Sunflower Project and stuff. I have a whole bunch of those.
Can you give us a date and the event again, please?
April 29th. And it goes from 10 a.m. to 1. I know Bob Reitz has agreed to sit at the table before. Dee Dee's been there before. Judy's been there before. I think Sharon's been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've fitted bike helmets before.
And I have Bob Rollins and Josh coming to help as well.
Wow, great.
Do
Well,
we
it
buy
sounds
the
like a
belt?
great idea.
We
Do we
already have the helmets.
We have
We
the
already-
helmets.
We don't have anything to spend on this year for that.
Okay, good.
Sweet.
So that's a
And-
go. I think for a service project, that should be a go. Any objection to that?
No.
I should have at the beginning of the meeting thanked Dee Dee and Helen for doing the seat check,
seat
was it
check.
seat adjustments check at Liberty Township Fire Department on Saturday. So Dee Dee was in charge of that, and Helen came down and helped. And Dee Dee, do you have anything you want to say about that?
Well, it was a typical Saturday morning where it was very slow to start and we had tons of technicians. And I told them all, I said, they're all gonna come at once. And sure enough, they did.
They all came.
So they were busy. All the technicians were busy. Plus they had a new car seat that someone brought in. One of the firefighters had his son come over since we were so slow, and this car seat actually turns, it rotates.
Oh,
Wow.
So you
Wow.
Really?
kids
Yeah.
straight out, or like he said, he was waiting in a parking lot and the baby was crying or whatever, and he could sit in the front seat,
And just swing
turn
it.
it around, and
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Nice.
that was pretty cool.
It was,
Now,
oh,
How does
it was
that,
very,
how did that rate though in safety?
I
That was
guess it's
fun.
okay. I mean,
Was good?
it has to pass all those inspections or whatever. The one thing I am gonna say is they don't have anything on their calendar the rest of the year at this point. It's because I think they've changed their model where they have so many technicians at all the different fire stations and the police departments that that's where people go to get their car seats
Oh,
inspected.
just what
installed,
they
and
need to.
checked. So they don't have, I mean, this was the only one. And then they have distributions, which, you know, those are people that need help and they make appointments and they come in and they just do it all the way
Uh-huh.
through. So there aren't going to be that many
No.
events unless there's like a touch of truck or something.
Okay,
was-
well, thank
it
you.
was-
I appreciate your coordinating that and the fact that you did it and so did Helen. That was, that's, you represented us well.
Helen,
so
what were
thank
you gonna say?
no, it was very interesting. I learned a lot about, like, I did not know that car seats actually have an expiration date.
Yeah.
And there's certain things they have to do, and if it doesn't pass, they literally take it from them and cut the seat belts or cut the belts. I mean, it was very informative, really.
So I was
I just
gonna,
thought- Go ahead.
go ahead, Helen. No, I was gonna tell Dee Dee to pass on something to Jackie, but go ahead and finish what you were saying.
No, I just said it was very informative and I enjoyed it. It wasn't hard work. I mean, you just take
So-
out, it was fun.
Yeah.
So,
Right after Jackie came to our meeting and talked about the adult seatbelt fitting and making sure the car fit and everything, my daughter was here visiting, and she's 5'0" and weighs like 126 pounds. And so she drove my car, and when I went to get back in my car, the seat was so close to the steering wheel that I literally couldn't get in. So I said to her, I went and got a tape measure and I said, get in the car, and I measured it, and she only sits like 6.5 inches from the steering wheel in order to reach. So I told her, all the stuff that Jackie had said, and I showed her my notes and everything. So when she got back to Alaska, she went to her local Subaru dealership and they ordered her pedal extenders and installed them free of charge because
Oh,
it's
are
a
you
safety.
kidding me?
Nice.
Wow.
So you guys,
Nice.
if you know anybody, that you should check with your dealership to see if they'll
Yeah.
do that as a
Go to
safety
a
measure.
Subaru.
yeah,
Yep.
well, I've
I'm
already
telling
checked
what
with
happened to
Honda.
us.
I went to Honda, two Honda dealerships, and they don't do that. So,
You should tell them that Subaru is going to steal their customers.
well, I did move my seat back, but I do have to stretch out my leg a little bit, but it's still not 10 inches. But I
Helen-
did try
Helen
to
checked
move it.
with the-
Inches from the steering wheel.
And Jackie's
You have-
gonna email Helen with a company or something that might be
Yeah.
able to help her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in Upper Arlington or something that she
Yes.
said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She
So
was gonna
that's
check
really
out.
sad because she talked to the Marion Honda and then she went with me to the Marysville Honda. And they just said, we don't have anything like that. And that's too bad.
Right.
It's really not like, okay. So
Yeah.
we haven't given up,
Okay.
but we learned
I
a
guess
lot
I
from
could tape,
Jackie.
I could tape a block on it, masking tape a block around on it.
Oh, duct tape, that'll work better.
We used to do
tape,
that with
yeah.
tricycles, didn't we?
Oh, I know. We have to get you some Gene Simmons shoes with the big heels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
My-
right.
Plat-
My dad,
Well,
did-
we've
my
talked about a lot
dad
of
used to,
stuff.
I have a question. I was looking at the minutes and I don't, from last time, and I have Marysville something, $25, March 13th.
That's the Marysville 100th
100th
celebration
anniversary.
and their
Okay, and-
anniversary.
Was that, were we giving them money? Or
No,
if we
that was
wanted-
So we just,
Yep.
what?
we announced that they were having it and if anybody was interested in going to let us
Oh,
know,
okay.
but I didn't hear from anyone.
well, I'm the speaker.
Helen, oh yeah, Sharon's a speaker and
Oh,
Jim are
that's
going.
right. Yeah, I
Tom's
remember
not
that now.
going. But because I just sent in my reservation.
Sorry, I'll be in Florida.
Oh, bless your heart. So lucky you. We'll be
Great,
in
I'll be
Marysville,
grading
Ohio.
research papers so I can go see my dad after.
So anyway, I believe we have the, Tom and I are going and
I'm
Um,
going.
Dick is going and the
Sharon.
O'Neills are going. So we're well represented, but if anybody is still interested, we can get you some information. But I don't know what the cutoff date is.
It said February 28th was the deadline. It was what
So
I have
it's-
written down. Yeah,
it's
so
too
it's
late.
over.
We'll
Do
be
we-
well represented though.
Do we have enough for an interclub then with that?
Oh, yeah.
That many? Okay,
Yeah,
Yep,
but
that's fine.
Helen, if you're still interested, they would probably accept
oh,
another.
that's okay. Yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you.
Meeting tomorrow night, correct?
pardon me?
We're
We
meeting.
have a regular meeting tomorrow night, correct?
Regular
Yeah.
meeting.
Yes.
Mhm.
Grace Clinic is doing our program.
Great. Okay.
And then we
what
should
is-
for the third, I'm still working on Habitat for Humanity for the third, the third Tuesday for that meeting. Okay, I know we've got, oh, here, let me share with this. Look at these.
Cute.
Here's a little bear.
What
Okay.
is that?
Here's the story. We were looking at Helen and I were looking at the list of things that go into the little bags that go to the foster kids.
Yes.
And we purchased 10 of them for $35 a piece, okay? We were looking at the list. And the little animals in there, and little blankets we can make. But anyway, and lots of supplies that you can get in the fall, for the back to school. But I went into Meijer and I saw all of these it was all Valentine, it was 90% off, okay? So this is a little bear that if you buy 2 Hallmark cards, you get this bear for free. Okay, that was for their Valentine, push. But they must not have sold too many because there are a lot of bears. Anyway, and this bear says it's free. So I take it to the checkout to find out what is 90% off of free. I'm just curious. I said, it says 90% off, and this is free. So I ran it through, and it came out to be 79 cents. This little guy was only 79 cents. So the next day, I went back and bought 10 more. So I have 12, and Helen went to the Meijers in Marion, and she bought 12.
All
So
right.
we're just gonna store them, and if we ever decide to, these are adorable. If we ever want to do our own little bags for the foster kids, we've got 79-cent bears.
There you go.
That is
Yeah.
just the,
Good
Just,
shopper.
79
that
cent
shows
bears.
you
For Easter.
the cost of inflation.
What?
Free is now 79 cents due to inflation.
Yeah. 90% are free. I was gonna say, just let me walk out with these dudes.
Oh,
Anyway,
Guess who this is for?
dollars, I got 12.
Are you sending it to that little boy?
No, I'm sending it to you.
Good for you.
They had one.
Bringing it
one.
tomorrow.
I'm like, is this a
Oh,
sloth?
thank you.
I'm
You're
sorry,
welcome. I'll bring it tomorrow night.
90% off for free also, but you know,
It was 79 cents. I thought I could afford that.
Thank you.
Isn't it
How
cute?
sweet. I
though?
love my sloths. Love them,
Oh,
love
I
them.
have some
Nice.
socks.
anyway.
Wow.
Oh, you brought her socks too. Anyway, we thought that if we decided to continue doing this, if we had a storehouse of a few things already, we certainly wouldn't pay $35 for a bag. So this is just a donation to have available should we choose to use it. I was going to tell you, they're also doing it for Easter.
Guess
So
Easter bunnies.
after Easter, there might be bunnies that are going to be 79, 90% off of free. So
There you go.
we'll take care of it.
90%.
Anyway, any
All
other
right.
news, any other good, anything for the good of the group? I know I got off track.
Just to
Okay, I
remind,
did too.
Source Point
What?
is having a health fair on June 3rd,
3rd.
and they will do the car fit at that event.
June 3rd.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what the time is exactly, but it's probably like 9 or 10
Where
o'clock.
and where is it going to be held?
It'll probably be at
Source
Source
Point.
Point.
Source
And we
Point.
had talked about doing a table for the Chad stickers too. So
Yeah.
I think we
Uh,
should pursue that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do
Okay.
I can check into it.
a food for March donation per
Oh,
pin.
we have to decide a food for March. Sharon wants to get rid of mac and cheese, so she's suggesting that, and I don't care. I mean, it's up to you all.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine
Mac
with
and
me.
cheese.
I'll remind people that we've got a meeting tomorrow, and I'll tell them if you can bring some mac and cheese boxes.
Yeah,
Is
but
it
if you don't
hot?
have it handy and you don't want to go and buy it, anything will be appreciated. So, and thank you to Dina. She delivered the soup the last time. So,
I'll be glad to do the deliveries each month. It's no problem. It's right here by my house. So,
okay, that'd be great. All right, anything
and I
else?
was so touched when I got there because they built the Kevin Cowley Pavilion, and I was really good friends with him. I don't know if you guys know Kevin Cowley from People in Need, but I was really good friends with him. So,
Oh, wonderful. Well, any other news for the good of the group or anything we need to address right now?
Need it here
No.
for shifts.
no, looking
We'll
forward to
just see you
seeing you guys tomorrow. And Sharon, I'll look forward to hearing from you in a little bit.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
and don't forget, folks, we need to, when May comes around, we need to have a slate of officers. So be thinking about it.